All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 2
Episode 2.
of the Four Pickup
We
Show.
did it. I
Mm-hmm.
thought we would be only have one, but we have 2.
We have 2.
If we get up to 5, it's gonna be
You won't know what to do with yourself.
fireworks will be launched.
Well, today's pickup line is
Let's hear it.
what's the best advice you've heard or received?
In my life,
Or recently, whatever. Just what do you think is the best? In this season.
if this that's so church.
Hey.
Best advice in this season. This is gonna sound crazy, but the best advice is always what difference does it make. That little nugget helped me make so many decisions, especially when it come up with other people and who I'm going to show up for and how I'm going to show up
And how to protect your peace.
and how to protect my peace and my boundaries. It's like
and reclaim your time.
Okay.
Okay.
But sometimes it's just like, what difference does it make? Sometimes it's people who you go out your way and sacrifice your time and you move your plans around to show up for them, and at the end of the day they still don't show up for you, or they still treat you like crap. Or the person they call you about and need advice on because they go through a bad time, they end up turning on you, and you the one who's trying to help them out. So I just think whenever I'm about to make a decision to show up somewhere or show for someone, I always say what difference to make. And if I know this person always move in good faith, I feel comfortable with sacrifice and do whatever for that person. If I know that person that's going to treat me bad regardless and they just using me and it's just like a transactional relationship, then I'm just like, you know what? They could hate me later. I'm not going. So that's like the best advice I had lately, was just like protecting my peace. How about you?
It's very good. For me, the best advice I've received in this season of my life came from an older woman who...
How old are we talking? Like 60,
60?
70?
No, I'm not putting her age out there, but she's like 20 years my senior.
Okay.
Yeah. And her advice was to really lean into my female relationships and to not take for granted. I think that I hear a lot of women say, oh, I don't really have girlfriends. You know, I feel more comfortable with guys, or, they just have hard feelings or difficult feelings to navigate when it comes to being in a relationship with other women. And she acknowledged that, and she's like, hey, I know, it's hard dealing out here dealing with each other. But she was like, find women that you really trust. Find women that gravitate towards you and who you are as a person, and like really lean into those relationships.
I feel like you do a great job with your female.
I do now.
Okay. Yeah. I would. Yeah.
But she gave me this advice.
Maybe to lean in more, but I think you have friends you know for 20 years and beyond, and like you do a good job. I think.
This is true.
Yeah.
I do have that. I'm not gonna negate that, friends. But I do think that I didn't in my 20s, especially in my early 30s, I didn't really lean into my female relationship.
Because you was with me, and that's all that mattered. Like, I get it. I honestly get it. Whatever. It all makes sense.
You know what, though? As life has happened to us outside of husbands who do those things to us in life, having some female friends where you're like going beyond the surface, like brunch or, check-in phone call where it's somebody that...
What is the obsession with brunch?
I don't know. I don't go.
So that's why you potty struggle with your female friends. If you're not going to brunch, what are y'all doing with your time?
Okay.
Anyway, whatever.
That was our pickup line. We're going to move on to our pickup topic.
All right. Well, the pickup topic for today, or the main topic, is Wow, why is my brain not working right now? You know why? It's called distractions. You see what I did there? Was that good?
Oh, set up.
Yes. So, uh, we've been married for a while,
Mhm.
and we do, I think, a good amount of things, including this episode 2 of podcast. Um, how do you like navigate like distractions, and like how do your dreams go away because of distractions and manage your life, and how do you like navigate your goals
Hmm.
with all the distractions we have with life, kids, and all that?
Yeah, that's a good one. I I have literally been in tears on the phone with friends before. Like, I just need space. I just need time to think.
Yeah.
Um, because there's so many things to think about, and it's hard to call things that are important to you a distraction, right? But like, my 5-year-old is a distraction. she's in the house and she's running around, and I can't get the laundry done, or I
Yeah.
can't read this email as best as I could and respond as best as I could, because like I'm distracted. I'm thinking about her and what she needs. And so like distractions aren't always negative. Sometimes they are necessary, right? But I think that how I've tried to navigate it is to just dedicate um myself to committing time to touching something. And touching it doesn't always feel like super rewarding. It doesn't feel like you're even moving the needle sometimes. And sometimes I get frustrated because I'm like, oh, well, all I did was touch it. But then there's a day where
I
like,
would get frustrated as well if all I did was touch it as well.
mm, yeah, I see where you went there. Okay, great.
Carry on.
But
Carry on.
if I have this project or this
Mhm.
idea, and instead of telling myself that I have to give it 10 hours today, and at the end of today, it has to be the most amazing piece of material that I've ever produced, as
Yeah.
though I am a forefather writing the Declaration of Independence itself. And I just say, well, no, today, my objective is just to like review what I wrote a week ago or 2 days ago or last night, and finishing a thought.
Is that
Or
so? Is that with the distractions you're saying?
well, no, what I'm saying is to combat the feeling
Okay.
of feeling like there's a bunch of distractions. Like there are certain things in our lives that aren't going to go away. Like we have to work, we have to eat, we have to commute, we have to invest in our relationships if we want a full life that's healthy. We have to play, we have to work. Like there's a time and a season and a space for everything.
Yeah.
But I think for myself, when I feel overwhelmed with like feeling distracted, that means that I know that there's something that's really trying to come out. Like there's something that's really on my mind or really on my heart that needs to get done. And I need to just stop, think about, and be honest with myself about what that thing is. And instead of trying to tackle all of it, to just say to myself, I'm going to do a little bit at a time incrementally, but like consistently. So, how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. And so to get away from that perpetual feeling of like I'm distracted. And for me, it's depressing to feel distracted, because I feel like I'm not moving forward. I'm not getting things done. And so that's my point, where like I stopped putting pressure on myself to score a perfect 10 every time I approach an idea or approach a desire. Like,
but you're gonna get distracted though. And how do you check yourself out of it? That just going like doing the one thing.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That is what I'm saying. That instead of trying to score a perfect 10 each time, today I'm just giving it some time. And I find that like I'm not as beat down.
I'm curious though. I understand what you're saying, but if you just touch everything just little by little, won't it just take longer to get done?
No, at least not to me. Like I see,
like you just lock in and be like, I'm
it's
just gonna
not realistic
write
to lock
up.
into everything. It's not realistic to lock into all the iterations or all the thoughts that I have for myself or of myself. It's not like, to me, it's not like.
So you couldn't lock in for like 2 hours, and then the next day lock in for 2 hours,
Okay,
or
that's
just
fine.
like
Locking in for 2 hours, but in that 2 hours, not expecting that it's gonna be a masterpiece every time I approach it.
okay,
Like I think that the discouragement from feeling distracted or pulled in different ways comes from, like I said, a lack, like feeling like you're not moving forward in a thing. But what I'm saying is you might not be able to go from 1 to 50 today, right? But being okay with saying, like, I'm going to get to 25, but doing that
I'm
bit
always curious,
consistently.
just like, when is the 25 not good enough?
The 25 is never good enough because I want 100. Like, I got the ambition for 100, but what I would do is like be a non-starter. And I don't know if anybody can relate with that. Like, but I would be like, I would tell myself, I really want to do this thing, but I don't have time for it, and just be a non-starter for things that
Yeah.
are like that I say are important to me.
Mhm.
And then you start thinking, well, oh man, when I start this, it's going to be a distraction from this person or that person. So like we convince ourselves not to even try. We get distracted by life itself to the point where we don't even try anymore. What I'm saying is to get over that distraction, to get over the
Mhm.
noise. I started committing myself to be okay with a little bit at a time, because that little bit adds up. You can give yourself timelines,
Yeah.
but being okay with, like, it's not all going to get done today, but something's
Yeah.
going to get done.
That's good. Good. That's good. I think for me, it's like, I hear you on it, and I think that's probably to be more of my approach with things, because I'm just more of like the non-starter type, where it's just like, if my day don't start the way it needs to start, like, so from the night before, when I finish writing everything out, and I'm like, this is how tomorrow's gonna look. And if I'm supposed to wake up at 5:25 to start my day, but then one of my kids wake me up at 1 in the morning, and now I'm gonna be too tired in the morning to do the thing, I kind of just become a non-starter instead of like get it done. So I need to work on that. In the matter of fact, the funny thing about that is I know I'm distracted often with things, and then I pick up a book about dopamine, which is just talk about like how to stay focused. But I got distracted from reading the book, and I stopped reading the book. So I need a pre-distraction book to read on how to not be distracted. But it's like and I make this joke all the time where I'm just like, I literally get distracted from being distracted. I will sit down to watch TV, and I'm sitting down to watch TV as a distraction. And while I'm watching TV, I would still pick up my phone
Mm.
and be distracted on my phone while watching TV. And then is another layer of this distraction. I'll be like, man, I really want some ice cream. When I'm supposed to be working out and focusing on my health, I'm still distracted to get by. So I think it might be a chain reaction thing with the distraction. And I think for me, it's just like, for me to navigate like distractions, I always have to just like put my foot down and just be like, I am going to be like so like locked in and so focused. But I need to give myself more grace. It probably take more of your approach of like, when those things like come off the rails a little bit, like getting back on there, even if I can't complete my full hour workout because something happened, the kids were late or whatever, or life happened, or I was on my phone longer than I should have been scrolling, and now the time got away from me. I should still probably go to the gym for 30 minutes
Mm.
and probably just start this approach of just doing it a little by little. um I'm curious though about like what you said there about like the family and doing it little by little. Like, is there any like dreams you have where you feel like the distraction will got in the way of the dream? Oh, do those little by little still could get you to your dream?
Mm.
So if a dream is, I'm gonna own this by the age of X, but you keep doing little by little and you don't, like, when do you realize it's time to like throw away distractions? Or in the case you like you have children and a husband and a family responsibilities, when is it, I'm supposed to get this done by here because this is a dream,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna have to book myself a hotel for a week to get this dream done.
Mm.
This dream can't happen because it's of the distractions. When Even though you say that like I'm probably not bad distraction, when it doesn't matter. When do you put your foot down and be like, I'm the person who needs to get this thing done? And I love my children, but they don't matter in this situation. I love my husband, but he don't matter. When is it that you like, I just need to go away and get this done? Because you don't want your dreams to go away.
Yeah, you got to know when to make sacrifice. I think like using a smaller example than dreams. I think like when you know the laundry has to be done, and like
because the cleaners are coming.
Because
listen, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I don't care. When the most annoying thing is how much cleaning have to go into the house before the cleaners come. And my wife is just yelling at me the whole time. Dwayne, we have to clean up. The cleaners are coming. The kids now make the joke. Oh, the cleaners are coming. Make sure all the laundry is done on time. The cleaners are coming. Shouldn't the cleaners be able to handle whichever mess I throw at them?
I'm not discussing your first world problems on this podcast. It's not happening. This episode will not be for that.
I think it should be talked about. We will talk about it if we get to episode 6. That would be episode 6.
To answer the real question.
Whatever. Go ahead. I got distracted. You wanted them clears. The notch. Go ahead.
Okay. So if the laundry needs to be done, like it's green day at school and we have that one green sweater and the laundry has to be done, like that, you can't be distracted. You like having homework, having dinner, having soccer, doesn't matter. That green sweater must be washed tonight. And so then you know that no matter what, no matter how tired you are, no matter how spent you are, then this thing has to get done. And so you ignore every distraction, or you wait till those distractions are in bed, and then you do what you got to do. And to pursue your goals despite distractions takes sacrifice.
Yes,
is my point.
I agree.
So, I'm going to do all the things I need to do, but tonight I know I'm going to sleep a little bit less, or I might be a little bit more tired tomorrow because this thing needs to happen. I think once you find that thing that is worth waiting for the distractions to move themselves, that's when it's time to lock in and to make the space for that. Because
quick question.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you too much, but we're married.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own goals and dreams. Mm-hmm. How are you supposed to navigate when the other person's distracted, but you're focused and ready to do your thing?
Oh, that's a good question too. I think that when that has happened for us.
It has?
When that has happened for us.
Okay.
I think that it's setting, it's honestly, it comes down to like, not the strength, but like just the honesty in your relationship. Because there was a time where Dwayne said to me when we were like putting cash in envelopes to make sure that we stayed on budget. He goes, "Hey, we're going to buy a new house." Yeah, don't see how that's going to happen, buddy. Mm-hmm. But like, you had the vision. I was definitely not on board. But there were other ways I could add to the vision.
Yeah.
And I was okay. Not okay. I understood that there were other ways I could. And so I did those things or whatever. And then 6 months later, we did purchase said house. So my point is, if there's a spouse that isn't on board, I think it's incumbent on the spouse who does have this really strong vision to be realistic in what the other person's going to contribute, but then like tell that person how they can contribute. Like trust them to contribute in the ways that you really need them to, by telling them like, okay, listen, you might not see how we can get this house in this timeline.
You think a person not lining up with you is a distraction more than just like not lining up?
I mean, it could be it can unmotivate you. It can be disheartening,
Yeah.
but also kind of going back to how I was answering your first question, which is like sometimes it takes sacrifice. It takes staying up a little bit later, grinding a little bit harder, and it takes like pushing past other people not believing in it. Because like I said, I wasn't on board with what you presented to me, but a small step that I could take that you asked me pointedly to contribute was, okay, call the broker and at least let the broker know we're thinking about it. And
Mm-hmm.
so as each other's helpmate or each other's significant other, like, okay, I might not be on board 100%. I might not have bought into the vision, but I might be a distraction too because I'm still spending money because I don't think this is going to happen because I was. But you can ask that person to do small things to like contribute towards it. Because it's incremental, like I said, working at it just a little bit by bit.
Okay. Okay. I hear you. I hear you on that part. I think when I asked the question, I was thinking something different, but I see what you did there. Just it's amazing how minds work, right? Just crazy. Just crazy. Because I was just thinking like, what is it like when it's like you like, oh, we need to focus and do this thing, and I'm sitting down playing a video game. But I think how you said it made it very clear. Is it's like it's not that I want to sit down and play a video game. It's that he don't see the vision or we're not in nine on the vision. And because you're not in nine on a purpose and on a vision on what to do, you then could be distracted. Because you can't be distracted if you're focused on what you're doing.
Yeah. That's good.
That's really good.
Good.
It's good. All right. All right. So we do have another part here that we want to talk about, and that's the shout outs, like the pull up shout outs. I have nothing for this week. Do you have anything? Actually, I might. Do you have anything you want to shout out? A person, event?
Okay, so what we're dropping today?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I am dropping today in terms of distractions is this book that we read a while back, and then we ended up giving it to our eldest, who's 15. It's called Atomic Habits.
Yes.
And it's just a book that talks about like kind of what I said, which is bit by bit building up your strength and your acumen in a particular area of your life, and then you start to see the results of just those 1% gains and how it can literally transform your life just by being dedicated to a little bit. Transformation, like I said, doesn't have to be like a complete metamorphosis overnight. It can, if it's slow and steady, 1% per quarter is better than not gaining 4% at all this year.
Yeah, I think Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books. Would just let you see yourself, and I see myself just drinking water now by doing those little habits. Like you want to drink more water, you just have to have it around you. So it's just, I think that's a book. I really recommend that book. That's a good book. And a part of distractions that I want to take down. Well, you say what is it? Dropping? Are we dropping with it?
It is
putting down
what we're dropping.
We dropping it. All right. What we're dropping it is special distraction. I'm really gonna try to do a better job of just like what you said, of just like getting back on the track of like, even if it's just a 10%, at least I made a 10% today instead of a 0%. I have a tendency of saying like I go so hard in the paint. Like when I'm focused and when I'm there, it's very intense. But I need to be able to, like, when I have these distractions with life, just keep moving. Yeah, instead of staying up 4 o'clock in the morning working on a project.
Oh my gosh.
Or waking up at 2 in the morning to work on a project. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, then that brings us to our pull-up shout outs.
My bad.
No, you know.
Yeah.
So I think somebody who I want to shout out beyond Atomic Habits is actually a friend of yours. You guys went to, well, I shouldn't say friend, a former classmate of yours who launched Because of Them We Can.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to shout her out because I think that was just an example of not being distracted. She started with photography And then she moved from photography to these profiles, and now she's into products. And now, I mean, she's a powerful, powerful platform. And so I think that it's a testament to, like, don't be distracted. Just get started with the vision that you have for elevating Black people, elevating how they're perceived, elevating how they're seen. And now it's literally an entire brand built on that. So.
Shout out.
Yep.
I think it's awesome.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 2.
We hope you enjoyed episode 2.